Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Nancy Drew Lights, Camera, Curses. Let's continue the game.
I think I'll take Ada's advice and check out the Casbah.
So we're going maybe to a new area on the map, but I guess not. Apparently the Club Casbah is in the same place.
Hey there, are you the new production assistant?
Me?
Apparently
Really
Nancy Drew got hired to be the production assistant. And
Well, sure. Why
apparently
not?
we're gonna play a mini
This
game.
should be the perfect opportunity to hear some local gossip.
I kind of wonder if maybe we're not even going to use the mini games that often. 2 hours in, it feels like we're still being kind of tutorialized, and my decision has been to just try and rush through this as much as possible. Time to make some delicious smoothies while you listen to some juicy gossip. Okay. Here are the smoothie orders you need to fill. You can make them in any order you want. Okay, so it wants 2 hard-boiled detectives, hard-boiled detectives, and a hard-boiled detective. So 3 hard-boiled detectives. Let's make the hard-boiled detective. It calls for 2 eggs and 2 orange slices. The ingredient bin are up here. First click here to select the eggs. Okay, now click twice above the glass to drop 2 eggs in. It's the exact same game as what we did before with the lockpicking minigame. Now select the orange slices. So you're drinking orange slices, orange juices, and raw eggs. That sounds utterly disgusting. Horrible, and I'm pretty sure the acidity of orange juice and raw egg would cause the protein in raw eggs to curdle and just coagulate into the worst clump of disgusting gooeys you can think of. That's all there is to it. This time you'll see the glasses moving up to the left on the conveyor belt. Try to fill the meter on the left side of the screen before you run out of empty glasses. Now it's time to proceed. Time to start the game.
I heard when that snake bit Lois Manson, she didn't so much as gasp. It killed her so quick.
They say the first Pharaoh director was so obsessed with ancient Egypt.
So
Sleep on the set instead of going home.
Maybe he slept on the set because his wife kicked him out of the house.
I do have to put these in order. This is ridiculous.
Did you know that Lois Manson's body was buried along with the original?
Oh man.
Baloney. She's buried in Westwood. I've seen her grave.
They buried an empty casket.
Whoa.
You hear about the black cat?
What about it?
The first AD saw it run out from behind the scaffolding just before it collapsed.
One.
You know who I can't stand? The snake wrangler guy.
The snake sure seemed to
I can't believe that they're paying voice actors for this game. That they seriously needed to program the game to work better before they did anything else.
The grips told me the reason they've been doing so many takes of Ada is because a shadow keeps showing up behind her on the video playback.
What do you mean, shadow?
It's like a dark blur just over her shoulder. VidTech can't figure it out. Ever get cold all of a sudden when you're on set?
And this just seems like
Yeah.
kind of baseless rumors.
Our fearless director over there sure looks happy.
It's the rattlesnake he's drinking. Can't get enough of them.
What's in those things anyway?
Blueberries, orange slices, and peanut butter. Always served with a snake
Ridiculous.
rattle swivel stick. You ever want to have a nice long chat with George Jackson? Just put a rattlesnake down in front of him and I'll open right up.
That's a good tip. I need to meet George Jackson. 1 rattlesnake smoothie for George. Coming right up.
And this is ridiculous. There's the smoothies. I guess that's the idea here, is they didn't want alcohol in their game, so this is kid friendly.
Ah, there we go. My favorite thirst quencher. You must be the new production assistant, Nancy Drew. I'm George Jackson, director of films, lover of rattlesnakes.
I don't think anybody would bother to learn a PA's name. Let's see. I don't recall any of this. Can we go back and look at our records in any way? Arthur Hitchens. Like, we're on chapter 7, Smooth Moves. We can't look at any of the journal entries. So, unless there was something that was written down in one of these previous things, which of course it's not. So let's forget the score and just try it. Let's say he's making him angry.
I hear Arthur Hitchens is really making you angry these days.
Got lucky?
That's not true. I swear, if the members of this crew were half as good at working as they are at spreading rumors, we would have wrapped this picture 2 weeks ago. I don't know who told you that, but Arthur Hitchens and I get along just fine.
This is a very stereotypical Australian accent.
Like cheesy, overwrought monstrosity classic studio spewed out 75 years ago. My Pharaoh will be spectacular in every sense of the word. I do intend to shoot the climactic death scene in exactly the same way, shot for shot, as the original director. You know, as a kind of intellectual exercise. But even then, I guarantee you there will be no mistaking my work for his.
I hear Ida.
So, there was a shot-for-shot remake of Psycho, the movie Psycho, maybe a decade ago at this point, that came out. Never could really understand why you would want to do that. The only thing that was different is it was in color and it was shot on modern equipment for the time, but it still in no way justifies doing that to a classic movie. And clearly, if anybody is going to watch Psycho, they're going to watch the original Psycho. They're not going to watch the shot-for-shot remake. I hear Ada can be hard to work with, is too smart for her own good, has been rewriting the script. It can be hard to work with, I guess, is what I'm supposed to guess, although I don't recall if I actually heard that.
I hear Ida can be hard to work with.
Directing Ida has been a challenge, but fortunately
Ida
I love challenges.
is a funny name.
Thus, I love Ida.
I don't think I've heard anybody called Ida before.
Videophobic square inch of her.
Oh, videophobic?
She's afraid of snakes.
Oh.
Something she conveniently failed to mention until after she'd signed a contract. See, the climax of the film happens when her character, Nefertiti, tries to murder someone using a poisonous snake. Which means to shoot that scene, Ida has to be ready, willing and able to hold a live snake. Not poisonous, of course.
What if she won't do it?
Oh, she'll do it. Like it or not, Ida is going to do that final scene just like it was done in the original.
This is the guy that threatened somebody else using the set so open to the public. Good question. It's full of reptiles having so many accidents.
Why is this production having so many accidents?
Molly McKenna, the mad course cutter. It's her fault. Anytime you have a producer whose first concern is money and last concern is safety, what do you get? Accidents.
Oh.
So you don't believe
in any curse?
You don't believe in any curse?
All I know is sometimes it seems like that lady is deliberately trying to sabotage her own shoot.
I'll let you get back to your rattlesnake.
For that, I thank you.
I'd sure like to get
half of these animations weren't finished.
I'll head over to his office.
There are some Sherlock Holmes games that have like come out, and most of them are pretty low budget and pretty bad. But the latest one, The Devil's Daughter, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, really tried to be a AA, even AAA game. I'm not saying it succeeded. I haven't actually played it myself. I would like to play it. It's just a little too expensive from what the reviews say. And I get a similar feeling with this game, that the idea was to make this a AAA, or at the very least AA game, when at the first word, at the start, this was at best going to be a B tier single A hidden object game. When you say this game is a hidden object game, first thing in your mind when creating that game is, this needs to be done on a budget. We need to get the actual game to be done. We don't need to spend too much on animation or voice acting or having extra elements that are unnecessary, extra mini games. The creators of this game have failed at everything here. And when you see something like that, that makes me wonder if this was intentionally designed, was going to be some other kind of game. But I don't know what other kind of game it could have been. Screwdriver, hat, and the hat's a key. Do we need to unlock another file? Apparently. And open this bag. And now we have, the bristles are very fine. So if we use this with the chalk, then that should be mixed together. So we can use this with this.
Now I can see which buttons have fingerprints on them. I just need to figure out which buttons get pressed first.
One assumes that the one with the most stuff is the first button, because if somebody's fingers are greasy or dirty, more often than not that would be the first one, and then in descending order. So this, and this.
All right, got it open.
On the first try, and that didn't seem to work or give me any kind of bonus. To whom it may concern, take a good look at the poster for what you're to be regarding as my masterpiece. Then use this to follow my trail. What is that word? I hate reading cursive these days. The truth awaits J.B. Collingwood, or Collingwood. The location of the decoder can be found within Poe and Tell's talk. The Poe and Telltale start. What? I couldn't read half of that, honestly, because it was just sideways. I guess Edgar Allan Poe is the solution there for the decoder. Then I took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber and deposited between the scantlings. Then I replaced the board so cleverly, so cunning that no human, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing. So this is the Telltale Heart. So we just had to magically come across a board. Like there really was no hint saying that that was the board to pull up.
This must be the decoder that was missing from that crate on the set.
The Telltale Heart is a guy who murders somebody and buries him under his floorboards.
I bet each hieroglyph in the note represents one letter of the alphabet. I just need to match letters with hieroglyphs.
So, page 1, the ruler of the Nile is the title of this. A film of new style, not easily dismissed. So let's see if this is P-H-A-R-O-E. Like, I guess I have to be able to spell Pharaoh. P. Let's just put it there. That was right. And then H. With that one. And then. Okay, I see how this is gonna work. A is. Let's see, where is that one? Up here? And then R is the pyramid. And so you spell Pharaoh P-H-A-R-A-O-H. So O is the eyeballs. And assuming the code doesn't change any, we can just click next and go to the next page. The famous Nile princess that Lois Manson played, her life was a success, her name will never fade. And this is, I assume, Nefertiti. So in for this symbol. Is it that one? No, it's that one. And then E for that. And then F for that. This is a much better puzzle in my opinion, just because it's not repeating. Never. I assume T is the next letter we need, and that would be this lady. And then I is the bird. And with this many things in order, the coder is pretty much done. To interpret this stone, it will need to be shown who sat on a throne in a movie well known. And we already have O and I. And so who could it be? Could it be Lois? We could do L and try this here. And then S on this. Or like who else would it be besides Lois? It can't be void. It can't. What other words could you even spell with that? Like soil. Is Lois or soil? I'm gonna go with Lois and just hope this doesn't break my bonus. Apparently your bonus maxes out at 600. So I guess that's fine, but that kind of sucks too.
Hey, there's a voicemail. Maybe I should check up on who's been calling Arthur.
I keep answering people's phones.
I was just wondering if you needed to talk. You know my number.
It's a spin dial phone, but it has a voicemail system.
Take it you're Arthur Hitchens?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I am, Nancy. No need to
You wouldn't have a phone with a dial
exactly what I was hoping
that also has a voice machine.
That you are indeed up to the task at hand, which, unbeknownst to Ms. McKenna, is the real reason I suggested she hire you. Here, I'd like you to have this. I found it in the janitor's closet. It's an old lock-picking kit. Take it.
Great, I bet this'll come in handy. I hear you intend to build.
So, we're still getting tutorialized and introduced nearly 2 hours and 20 minutes into the game. Another theme park right here.
I hear you intend to build another theme park right here.
That's correct. The fact that a promising starlet died while shooting a movie here, the fact that the set was buried immediately after the film wrapped, the fact that a new version of the very same movie is being filmed in the very same place. Combine these elements with state-of-the-art attractions, and I believe the public will flock to Pharaoh Land by the thousands.
When you said the real reason I was hired...
So this makes really no sense at all. Nobody is going to flock to a theme park, which one assumes would have rides and attractions, that already has a history of people dying in it. People would just have that feeling that it's cursed and they wouldn't want to risk their own lives. So the real reason I was hired was to spy on Molly McKenna to investigate all the accidents, was it? Like, I thought the story at the very beginning was that I was hired to investigate all the accidents. It seems like there was a miscommunication of telling the story right at the beginning.
It wasn't to investigate all the accidents, was it?
Few people know this, but the version of Pharaoh that was shown in theaters back in 1937 was not the version the director shot. Much of his footage, the scene in which poor Lois Manson met her demise in particular, was somehow lost. Were it to be found, it would be incredibly valuable publicity for my
So he wants me to find the old film?
Me to try to find it?
Correct. I have reason to believe that the director hid the missing footage somewhere on the set of the original movie just before the studio bulldozed over it. If that footage really is down there, Nancy, I want it.
That director, was his name by any chance?
Let's see, it's Z.B. Collingwood, I believe.
Was his name Z.B. Collingwood?
Yes, that is correct. I think whoever's been causing these accidents is trying to shut down my production so they can look for Collingwood's lost footage. Nancy, I think you have what it takes to find this lost footage. I suggest you head over to the Hotel Maltese. I'm keeping the cast and crew there with strict orders not to talk to the media. I suggest you start your investigation in Ms. McKenna's room.
Your producer Molly? She's a suspect?
Make no mistake, Ms. Drew. Everyone is a suspect.
So I'm gonna assume he's a suspect too. What's funny here is that in the real world, when a production failed and there was this giant Egyptian set just left in Hollywood for many, many years, nobody spent any money bulldozing it. They just left it there and they wrote the whole thing off as a loss and pulled some accounting shenanigans and basically went bankrupt and went out of business. The idea that a studio would bulldoze a film set and not reuse it and slowly take it apart and just try to make as much money out of it is so antithetical to what Hollywood is about, which is making money. It's time for another bonus round, so let's start playing. It just seems silly. I'm sure there's been many sets that people have died on and or accidents have happened and production just continued. It's not even too hard to imagine how you would justify something like that. You just say the person who died would have wanted us to go on. Let's see, 75. I haven't seen another 75, so I don't think I'm moving as fast as I would like. 100, 50, 25. There. Yeah, and once you get to this third level, it's not enough time. and it might be better just to skip. So we got 9,450 points for this chapter and a 5,000 bonus, plus some points from the minigame. I'm still not sure if these get added to the chapter score or not. All these points seem pointless and don't really make sense. And as soon as we finish the chapter and we hit that point that they wanted us to go from rookie investigator to gifted gumshoe, we do it. And you can tell that's the case because we're over half of the way done. And my thought was this would be 20,000 for this, 40,000 for this, 60,000 for this, and then 80,000 and slightly over 80,000. Looking at this now, since we're already at 60,000 points, it seems like we might have to hit 70,000 and maybe 100,000 in total to get the special ending, but I think we'll get it. We're never leaving this single map area. If this was a point-and-click adventure instead of a hidden object game, it wouldn't be so linear. You could totally see being able to go to the map and click on different places and wander around and talk to several characters. This game desperately needs just non-playable characters, NPCs, standing around willing to talk to you if you have a certain item or if you have a certain line of communication, something that would prompt a response from them, if that's what it would be. So instead of just talking to people, as soon as the storyline wanted you to talk to somebody, you would have to find some piece of evidence, have it in your inventory, and then drag it to that person. There's 4 more things in this area, but why am I doing things at this area? Am I trying to unlock the elevator? Like, so this can't be lockpicked. I can't pick this lock. This we can look at.
It looks like there are hieroglyphs all along the edges of this old movie poster. Let's see if I can decipher them.
So, okay. Do we see? Let's just go through the translator here and see if we have any double eyes. Do we have any double eyes? No. Do we have any helmet like things? Yes. This and that. So that just changes that. Do we have any reeds? No. Do we have any Anubises? There's another A. I'm having to actually click on things. Do we have any eyeballs? Yes, we do have an eyeball. Do we have any other eyeballs? Yes. Now, arguably, this story might have been better if it was the story of investigating the murder mystery of this first character that died 70 years ago, instead of investigating accidents that haven't killed anybody yet in the remake. I get the feeling that Nancy Drew is kind of an old series, and so it would make sense if some of these stories had to be updated a little bit. The introduction of cell phones in particular has ruined a lot of horror movies, a lot of mysteries, things where communication and misunderstandings are commonplace. I guess that doesn't match that. There goes my bonus. Where's an H? Here it is. It says, so we can start to figure out what this is. It says find the and H. What's this last thing? J? This one's throwing me through a loop. I don't know what this is spelling. I only have one letter left and I still don't know. Naja
What does Naja mean?
Naja. Yeah. You've got me, Nancy Drew. I don't know what that means either. Let's see, where are we now? We've been to 4 places here and 4 places there, so we're 8 different locations and probably more scenes than that. We're in chapter 9, Get a Room. These chapters are probably the most thought out thing in the entire game. It's a little weird that there was only one audio recording at the very beginning, and then I have completely missed any other audio recordings, so I don't know if there are some and I'm just not finding them because I don't really care, or there's only 3 in the entire game. So if there's 26 and we're at 9 right now, that does give me a little bit of hope. We've done 2 of the 4 mini games, so that's nice too. And how do you get to the menu? You click this button. That's it. We've gone another 30 minutes. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.